2023 NEHEP Partnership Summit moderated chat and Q&A with Christine Ha, MasterChef Season 3 winner, NEI Director Michael Chiang, and NEHEP Planning Group member Penny Rosenblum. Resilience, grief, and learning to adapt.
My name is Royce Chen. I'm from Columbia Ophthalmology, and I represent the NEHEP Planning Group. I'm just curious. I think we always have a bias as ophthalmologists and as doctors to forget about the other aspect of people's lives and about our people that have various visual disabilities, and think about how they get along in their daily lives. So I'm just curious how, in this process you were able to see and then you gradually lost more vision. Was that ever a barrier for you in terms of doing what you do now? And then how do you function on a day-to-day basis?
Sure. I think for me, my vision loss was gradual. It happened my vision would get better and then it would get worse, better, and then worse, over several years. So I guess the upside of that is it gave me time to adapt. But every time I would reach what I thought was my new baseline or my new normal, and then I would get used to doing things with that amount of vision, I would lose more. So that was kind of frustrating. But what I think I learned through that is the idea of resilience and learning to adapt quickly. And that I think through the whole process, I think our health and our lives are very precarious. You just never know in a moment when something may change. And I think the best thing you can do is, first of all, is still grieve that loss, because that's a normal process. Like losing your vision, you will go through a grieving process. And it's okay to feel all of those emotions and to recognize that. And then beyond that, I think it's important to surround yourself with a community or a network that can help, whether it's your eye care professionals, your healthcare team, your family, your spiritual community, your friends, whatever it is. I think people really try to help, but people may not know how. So I think it's up to us to be vocal and ask exactly for what we need or what we think we need. But I think, for me, I guess it just took time and just a lot of ups and downs and trying to learn to do the same things over and over again with less and less vision, like using a knife or how to deal with pots and pans on a stove, and just doing that over and over. I think and trying to master any skills about doing things over and over and learning from it. So I think for me, and I'm not quite sure if I'm answering your question, but I think I always tell people, when they say, I don't know if I'd be able to do the same things you did if I went through the same thing. But I'm like, well, you don't know that because you haven't gone through the same thing. But I do I think we as humans are much more resilient than we often give ourselves credit for. I mean, look at how we were able to get through this COVID pandemic and still come out, pretty okay and somehow in some ways stronger than before. So I think it's a matter of willpower, surrounding yourself with the right people, and having that attitude, which I think that attitude just comes from going through the proper emotions of grieving as well and acknowledging that.
National Eye Institute, National Eye Health Education Program, www.nei.nih.gov/NEHEP.